Hello there, it's Lena making Bespoke Craft Designs. I'm back to you. I'm still working on my winter journal and well, it's a Christmas journal come winter journal. So I'm still working on my Christmas journal, and I've made this sort of flip over. Now I am pretty sure it's very similar to something that Tina makes in Shabby Dabby Doodah. Whether it's exactly the same, I'm not quite sure. I haven't seen her make one of these for a long time, and I'm not sure whether it's exactly the same, but it will be very similar, I would think. So she makes such a lot of wonderful stuff. I'm not quite sure when I saw it even, but I've got a feeling it is one of hers. I was just messing about and I made this, and I thought, well, that was pretty similar to something Tina would make. So I don't want to take the credit for something that, you know, I haven't made from scratch, but I think I've probably just put my own twist on it. So that's what I'm going to be making today. So I'm just going to move this out of the way. So I used, this is backing paper for wallpaper. And I think Tina would have used her own digitals from a kit. I'm not. I'm using this wallpaper that I've done some mixed media on it with pastes and paints and stenciling and different layers. So I had a lot of this because I do it in big pieces. So I've cut this down to a manageable, because obviously having a big piece of wallpaper on my desk, it wasn't working to get it on the camera. So I've cut it down to a manageable size, but it needs you know, cutting down again. So the length of my journal is 9 inches. So I want this about, because my pages are all different sizes, I'm going to say about 7 for this, 7 inches high. I think it's about the right width that I would want it. So at the moment, I've obviously doubled this. So at the moment, this is like 6 1/4. So that's like 12 1/2. Along here is about 12 1/2. And I'm going to leave that like that. So at the moment, we've got it at 6 1/4. So it'd be quite slim when I've done when I've folded it and done what I need to do. But I definitely need to take some of the height off. So yeah, so if I do it about 7, it gives me a good bit left to do something else. So if I can find a pencil, and I think I might just use, excuse me stretching across, use my tea ruler, because I'm so bad at measuring. So if I get that level for a start, it's a bit difficult because where I'm trying to fold it has got some of the stars that are in the modelling paste, so it's a little bit stronger and it's pushing the fold off a little bit. Yeah, it's hard just to fold on that. But you'd probably be using different papers anyway, or you could wait and do your mixed media bit after you've got the fold. You know, once you've got it like this, then you could decide to put some on this side if you wanted. Now, the other thing that you have to think about with this, which I will just do this bit first, is which bit you want to keep. So I've got some space down here, so I'm going to keep this bit with all the, it's still not letting me fold that top particularly well because it's just pressing it off a little bit. So I'm going to go with that, put my pencil, and I'm going to go at 7. That's it, and I'm just going to do that again, and then I'm going to just cut it with my cutter that's in here. That's it. So I have a little cutter that I keep in here, but it's not very good for big pieces. It's really handy for little bits. think I need that bit. So we're going to cut this piece off. So I just want to get this sort of straight if I can. Me and getting things straight don't always work very well. So let's have a look where I want this. I want these marks fairly level if I can. That's it. Where some of the textured paste is, I've just had to go over it more than once just to, that's it. So I've done this a little bit shorter than the last one because with me doing it at 7 it's a little bit shorter, but I wasn't sure where, because I've got one in my present journal, so I'm not quite sure what journal size the other one will be, so I've done it slightly smaller. Now at this stage, because you're going to be folding it, you've got to decide what side you want as your inside or what side you want as your outside. So if this blue side becomes the top, when you fold it, you're only going to see that much of it. But on the inside, you would get all this for writing and you would get a piece like this. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to fold mine this way. So I'll have some of the mixed media on the inside, but then you will see some of it on this outside. So I'm just leveling it up again, making sure I've got it reasonable. It doesn't have to be perfect because you're going to be folding, and you don't fold, I don't want it folded perfectly, you know, neat to the edge. I'll show you what I mean. So that is going to go to there, and I want that just past, that's it, like that. So that's the fold, and I've got that just over, just so then I can neaten it up. It's where it's not letting me fold very well there, where the mixed media is. That isn't a problem though. And then what we're going to do with this one, I want to put this one, so we've got all this lovely going on inside, and then this one seems to want to fold there. Let's just see what that looks like. Yeah, that's okay. So now we've got a fold there and a fold there, and I'm just going to look at the bottom and neaten it up a little bit. So we'll neaten that up. So because I've got all my paste on first, it's a little bit difficult. I'm just neatening this side up as well. It's a little bit difficult to fold it exactly because it's but then I don't fold exactly anyway, so that's not a big problem. And I'm just cutting this a bit better, just to the eye, just so it looks a bit better to the eye. Doesn't have to be straight. I'm just looking at that, whether that's gonna show up. No, that bit looks all right. So I've just got some bumpy bits going on with the paste right on this edge, you see. Right, so what you do then, I purposely want the different sizes. You fold this one in and just make like a triangle shape. So you're just literally folding it in right to the edges, right to this edge here, folding it in so it runs down this side and then makes this little triangular pocket. So that's what you're doing on the front bit. When you turn it in, you're going to do exactly the same again. That's it. Now you'll see that's the centre fold. I haven't done this anywhere near the centre. I don't want it to fold right into the middle. I want it to just fold in. Now I haven't got that right into the cut. Doesn't really matter, but it's how neat you want it to be. Now at this point you can sew round them if you want, and just sew down here round the bottom and up this side, and it gives you a pocket there then, and it gives you a little tuck spot there. And then you'd carry on and do all round the outsides. When you come to doing this one, you would go down there, but you wouldn't do this one down. The reason being, if you do this one down, it's going to be a very, very narrow pocket, and you would have sewing up the middle of there. That's fine if that's what you want to do, and you only want a very narrow pocket, you can do. But I'll just bring mine back how I've done mine. So how I've done this one in here, and this is obviously with paper, so that's why this one's grey, because that was the wallpaper. And then I painted on the other side. So this one I have sewn all the way around here, and then I've carried on and sewn all the way round, but this one I've left open, and then it's easier to put things in and out, and you can do bigger things, because as again, I don't always put tags and things in because I use them for putting my own stuff in. So this is a nice size pocket to put stuff in. And then when I've put it to the page, I've left a pocket there as well, and I've just put a tag in there for now. So I've just put a tag there, and I've left it with the top just peeping out, and I quite like that. And then in here you've got a tag, a real long tag in here, and I've just backed it with some, I think it's homemade paper, that. So I've put that in there, and then in this one I've just put a little, it just says handmade, made with love, not handmade, made with love, and I've just popped that in there at the moment just to show there is a pocket there. In here I've put a little tag, and this one's finishing off, and I've just sewn it first, and then I've just stuck it down two sides and left it so you can push things in there. And then on here I've left lots of room for journaling on, but the one that we're going to do is going to be slightly different to where we're going to journal, because we haven't got anything on the other side. This was plain on both sides, and I've coloured one and left the other one with just a little bit going on, not a lot. So this piece here that looks really uneven, I'm going to have to try and get that more square. Actually, if I do, it's going to take all the folds off, but it doesn't look very square there. Right, so let's have a look, see if I can do that better. That's it. Yeah, it's very, very thick there. I mean, I didn't have to use this piece, I just decided to use this piece, but as you can see, it's to try and get that level, it's sort of taken that bottom off now, so I'm going to have to just even that up a little bit when I decide what I'm doing at the bottom, because I could just put something across the bottom, so I could decide how I'm going to do that. But at the moment we've got this little bit going on there. It's there, look, it's very thick, and it's just pushing out the fold. Maybe not quite that much, that's just me that's not got it very level. That's it. The other thing that I like as well is I like the fact that this bit here is different level to this, so it just gives a little bit more interest. But I do want that bottom a little bit more, so this is going to be nothing left of it by the time I've finished cutting. There's going to be nothing left. That's it. See if that looks better. Oh, that looks better. That's it. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to look a little bit neat. And I'm just making sure I've got that level there. You do it, cut it, and then it goes on level again because it's these bits on this side. That's it. So that's fair enough. So that's where we're going. I'm not going to sew this one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this as it is because all you're going to see is that piece there. So I'm going to glue this piece down. So glue that down. Where's my... Just give it a good glue down. That's it, and that gives room for a tag in there. And that, because we're not sewing it down, it'll just stay like that. Now you can stick it there, which is what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to stick this side down here so it doesn't flap up then. So that's that. And just make sure that bit's, because I would have sewn up there, so because I'm not sewing, I am just going to glue that bit down. Just press it, make sure it really gets contact, because you're going to be putting things in here, so you don't want this edge to be weak. So just give it a good, you can put a clip on it, but because I'm carrying on working, it's a bit more difficult. Yes, so you've got your pocket there, and you've got your little tuck for something there. And then you can either write on here, or you can put something else on there. I think we're going to put something else on there. And then inside, there is little bits of space for writing on, but not an awful lot, because I've used this as my inside on this one. So as I say, that's your decision. You can do it which way you want. I am going to glue this piece here, which would be all the writing space. I'm going to glue that to my page, round here, down here, and round here. So you've got a pocket here. This will flip out like that, and this can either be, it'll be a tuck there, and we wouldn't sew that one down anyway, so it will open up. But what I'm going to do here, I'm just going to, whoops, I'm going to glue this down. And glue this edge here down like that. Bit oozed out there. Just making sure that's stuck. And as I say, you've got another little, only very small, but a little bit there, but it just, that edge just needs to glue before we start pulling it about and putting things in. Let me see. So yeah, that one's done, that one's done. So let's just pop that on there a second just to glue that down. And then we need to decide what we're going to do on these. So I think what have I got? I feel like putting just something on that corner. Let me just have a look at this. This beautiful little robin. It's the wrong colouring, but you could put something like that just to slip things through. I'm just looking how beautiful that was. It's grey. We'd get away with that, I think, just with the robin. That's the only bit of different colour we've had, really. And you'd have that as a little tuck spot. You could put that there, quite like that. Let me see what else I've got. Just trying to see what I've got. I've got all bits floating about. I'm just trying to have a look. On the top. Well, we could go with something like that as a little tuck spot there, and then you've still got room up there. So yeah, quite like that. I think I'm going to go with, I'm trying to find what I've got just around me. I've still got the pail that I had from yesterday. So yeah, quite like that. I still think I've got some stamps here, but I don't know whether there'll be any ink on them. There won't be anything left, or whether it's dried, I'm not quite sure. Oh no, there's a little bit. So just going to use that on there and just use a little bit on that backing. And I'm just going to put that on there so you can slip things in. So I'm going to put a bit of glue just round here. These I was making the other day, so it's just handy to have some of these ready, even though I was looking for something else. Right, so yeah, so that means they're the top bits. So let's just get this down. And it's just left the top, but obviously I don't want to dig about with that too much yet. I've just found that little piece of silver there. Oh, I do like that. It's been cut off something, but I really like that, so I think just to get that off my desk, so otherwise it would maybe go, well, it wouldn't go in the bin, but go in my bag of bits and get lost. So I'm just going to put that on there as we go in. And I had some silver trim, and it had this on the edge because it had wire through it. So I took the wire out and then cut this edge off. And obviously there was a tiny little bit left, so I like that. So that's just going to have to stick down. But I quite like the look of that. I'm just going to pop something in this little pocket so you can see what it looks like, if I can find something on my desk. Got a Christmas tree here in more or less the same colour. So I could just have a Christmas tree poking out of there. Oh, it'd be better in a different colour, but I'm not sure what I've got. Have I got anything? Let's have a look. I've got a silver one here, look, because that's the same colour as that. Yeah, so you could have a Christmas tree just poking out there, just for something to be, yeah, just to show there's a pocket there. And then what I want to do on this, I think I could do with a bit of snow. So I've got one of these Posca pens that's just got a little bit, well, it just does little dots of white when you press it down. That's how you activate it. Press it down and it just gives you little dots. And then when it blends into the page, it doesn't stand off quite so much, it blends in, but it looks really effective. I forget all about these pens, you know. I have them next to me and then forget that I've got them. So yeah, so let's just give that a bit of an effect of snow, so I quite like that. Then I want to do something on here and put something in here. Right, what have I got that I can put? I'm just looking at what I've got left on my top. So I've still got some of this left, which I think would look quite pretty in that pocket. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this down. Let's have a look. I think that top just needs levelling off. So if we do that to there, because I'm going to level that top off, and I'm going to cut it off about there. And then how wide does it want to be? Let's have a look. Let's cut. We'll do it from there so it doesn't. And we're just going to cut some of that top off, so I'll have to cut this in first. I'm going to do it to about there to neaten that side up as well. So let's just do that. Because then it gives us more journaling space on here. Let's have a look. A good idea to put it the right way around, Lena. So let's have a look. Let's get this sort of straight if we can. Yeah, reasonable, I think. Sorry, it's really bouncing the camera. It's quite thick, this. It's not cutting it very well. I've just put a clean blade in it, a new blade, so it shouldn't be that it's blunt. That's better. It's got most of it. I think when you stand up and cut, you get a bit more force on it. Right, so that's there, and then I'm just going to trim a little bit off this top. I haven't quite gone to where I said I was going to do, so I'm hoping it's going to fit. That was only a bit of a guesstimate anyway. So let's have a look. I'm going to get a bit of this top off, just to level that up a bit. I mean, this, as long as this marks this, I can cut it off with my pen if it's... no, it's not even marking it. I don't know what's... oh, it has. It's cut the bit off, I was going to say. And then I wanted... let's have a look. I'll need to measure again because I haven't cut anything off that bottom. I cut my mark off, would you believe? Very clever, Lena. So we'll cut it to there. You can have this whichever way up. Obviously, we're all going to have different pieces of materials. I just had some of this in a book of papers, and I've just backed it. So I'm going to put that roughly about there, and just give myself. That's it. That's nearly off. It was cool actually. I cut some paper with it earlier and it didn't cut right through, but it left like a perforated edge. So if I'd have wanted to use it as a perforated edge, I could have done. I was just looking to see if I'd got a rubber handy, just because I've got a mark on there. And I know they're somewhere very close, but then when you want them, no, can't just find them. I've just got my mark there, but I can cover it up. So that's going in this pocket. Oh, it's not, because it's, I haven't cut enough off. Oh well. Actually, what I'm just going to do, just for easy's sake, because it's annoying me trying to, I'm just going to go down here with my ruler and just cut the piece off. And then it cuts both the marks off for me, so it says, and I'm just going to cut this with my scissors. And hopefully I can see this line enough to cut it. Saves me wobbling the camera, and it also, hopefully, that fits okay. One way around. So yeah, so that fits okay in there. Now, do I want any more off that top? Slightly, I think. I think I'll take off the bottom, not the top. But I need a little bit, because I just need it a little bit lower down. So I'll have a bit more off that. Yeah, because I like mine just to the roughly to the top of there. So that's gone the full length in there. So after a fashion, I've got there. Keep that bit. And then decide what you're going to put on there and what you're going to put on there. This now should be stuck down, so I've got a little, I'm going to put something just up there. What have I got? Oh, I've got this, some of this string on here, and it's got caught on everything, you might know. That's quite cute, but I'm not putting that up there. I was looking for one of these little flowers, just to pop a flower up there like that. So I've got a Christmas tree in that one and a flower in that one. You could put whatever you wanted, it's just that I'm showing that I'm using them. And then I think I do like that ornament. I think I might just put that on there with something, because that's quite cute. As I say, I'm just using stuff that's on my desk. I'm just looking what I've got here. I seem to have, I think I've got a Christmas tree here, but I think I've got two together, and that would be very nice if I could. Oh yeah, I have. I've got a Christmas tree here that I've die cut out, and it's very pretty. So I think I'm going to look for somewhere for that. Just found this and thought it was really cute. So I'm just taking all the little die cut bits out. Ha ha ha. Right, let's have a look at this. Take that top off first so I can see what I'm doing. Hopefully all will become clear in a minute. Oh wow, that's almost the right size. So how far down do I want it? I don't want to mess it up now, do I? I want it to about there. Let's have a look. And just, let me just fold that up so I can see where I'm going. Very bodgy way of measuring and cutting, I must say. So let's have a look. Let's just put that to there, like that. And open that up to there. And then what I'm going to do with this is flip this over, because this is going to be on the back and it's going to be down to the page. So that's how I'm going to attach this. Because it's vellum, I'm going to attach it there. I'm going to leave this opening here, and I'm going to leave it so it opens like that. So you can journal in there. You've then got that covered up, and you can put something in there if you want, or you can just have it covered up. So I'm going to decorate this top, but the first thing I'm going to do is just glue this down so it doesn't move. Because you do find with vellum that obviously depending on where you're putting it and what glue you're using. So I thought, well, if I put it over on this back's not going to be seen anyway, and it'll stick it down a lot better. Now this is really thick vellum. I don't know whether it was one that was bought for printing on or what. It come in with a lot of other stuff that I got. I paid £20 and I got this massive, and I mean massive, box of things. A lot of it was card making stuff, because it was when I was first card making. And then I got all this other stuff and I just didn't know what to do with it. And I'm still using it 5 years on. So it was massive. Right, so that goes on there like that. And that opens up, and you've got room for text in there, but I want something on here. I'm just looking. I don't know whether to put that on there. With it being vellum, I'm not sure. It's going to have something on it though. But I wanted something a little bit heavier on there just to hold it down a bit more. I like that because it's heavier and it will hold it down. Or I like that. That would definitely hold it down. That's when it's creased and it's folded. It would hold it down on there. Could just put that over there a bit. And then you see when you open this, so there you've got room in there to well, you could put something else there if you wanted. You could write on there. And then you've got this on here. Now I'm just looking, when it folds, it's got a little bit on this edge. So I'm just going to take that little bit off so it doesn't go over the edge. That's it. And then I'm just looking for something. So I think that's definitely going to go on there because I just think that's really cute. As I've said before, I like real tactile things. I like things that, you know, you can do things with. But then you can journal on there and you've got it covered up. You're also going to have a tag in there that I haven't yet got anything out. I need to get something out for that. So, I mean, this isn't a big enough tag, but I'm just saying if you had a tag in there like that, and then so what am I thinking of putting on here? While I think about it, we'll have this glued down. Oh, it's still got a piece. I mean, some of the pieces come out easy and then some of them stick in. So, and then I'm just trying to glue. Oops, that was a big. Well, the video stopped, so I'm not quite sure where it stopped. Hopefully you haven't missed much. I was just inking this up. I'm just saying that if you use your ink that's just on your sponge, whatever colour you've got, and you know, do a vintage photo and just rub over where it's embossed, because this has got an embossing on it, it just brings up some of the pattern. So I was doing that on the other side, but I'll do it on here as well, just because I'm not sure whether you saw it. So you can do it on both sides or just one side. I've just cut that down because it was too long. And then that is going to go in there. This is not going to be shut down, so you could put something else in there. As I say, I'll probably take that out anyway. I've got this piece here where it folds out like this, but I'm just thinking, just to go on with the theme, some bits all stuck to me. Oh gosh, they're all gone all over the floor. They've stuck to my, I've got my thick working cardigan on and it's picking everything up. I think I am going to stick that down there so that opens in one piece rather than open it up like that, because I wouldn't write on this because it's vellum. So I think what I'm going to do, sort of to match this and do it the opposite way, but I'm not going to leave this piece open. I'm just going to glue this piece down, I think, and glue this bottom bit down here. And I'm going to try it with a little bit of, I might regret this because it might crinkle it up, but I'm going to try this with a bit of 3-in-1. I honestly don't know what this will do. I used it on the little bits that I was gluing down, you know, little die cut bits, and it didn't sort of do anything too dramatic. It curled it a little bit, but nothing massive, nothing that would cause a problem, I don't think. So we'll see what it does on here. Hopefully it's fine. And because it's really thick vellum, I don't think this is going to show through. So hopefully. hopefully it'll stick and it'll be fine. Because I haven't got any real thin double-sided tape, that's the main reason. You could use double-sided tape. And personally, I think it would be better with double-sided tape. Now, I always do this. Always forget to glue the bottom. So I'm just going to glue this bottom as well. And I'm putting the tiniest bit on because I don't want it to show, but I need enough on for it to stick. So let's see what it does. See if I rub that in a bit, if it's better. And I think that's dried now. Yeah, that's my own fault for messing about. Trying not to put too much down, but yet enough. Sorry, I'm putting it near me so I can see what I'm doing. So yes, I'm just going to give that a good rub. Make sure it doesn't stick down to the page behind it. I might have to put a piece of paper. That's a big piece. Yeah, I like that. And then there's just a little pocket there. It turns over and this piece is covered up. So that piece prevents everybody seeing what's under there. There's a little pocket in the front there, and there's a little bit where you can put anything little in there, and then this opens up and there's a tag in there. So it's quite a busy little piece. I mean, I don't always put this piece on. I just usually put a little pocket on here. But I've put this on because the other was white and I thought that was where we were going to be journaling. So then I want something on here. I'm looking at that, and I'm gonna put this. It's just a little circle that I've got where you could put things under, but I just thought I'm going to put that in there. You can see it through the vellum that it says Merry Christmas. It's helping hold that page down, so I like that. So I don't think I'm going to put anything on this front. I think I'm just going to put a tiny bit of something on the bottom, but not across the front. So I'm looking at a little bit of trim, and I've got some here that's all got messed up. I'm pulling a great big piece with me here because it's all got messed up. So I've just got this little bit of real glittery silver ribbon. So we'll have a piece of that. And if you've got any imperfections, that just hides them all. So I'm just going to glue that down there. I'm holding it off the backing just so that I don't, I'd better do it through there as well, so I don't glue them all together. And I'm just coming up slightly from the bottom so it doesn't glue it together. Before I can put the plastic back in, but I just want this on here first. That's it. I'm just wondering, I could hear a noise and I couldn't see Oscar, but I've just seen him. He's on the floor snoring like mad. I was just thinking, what's that noise? My husband's turned the telly off, so I bet he's gone to sleep as well. It's been a very dull day today, really dull. And it's very cold. Yeah, so we've got pocket there. This flips out, and you've got, so you could put whatever else in there. You could fit bits in there. You've got room to journal on there, and then we could do with just something tiny. What have I got? Oh, I've got a little star there, look. A little star, little heart there with snowdrops, with rain, snowdrops. Rain with, oh it is, snow on, with snow on. Oh gosh, goodness me. I quite like that. I'm just looking what I'm going to put on here, that's all. Like that stack. I'm still wondering whether I put anything on here or just leave that on there. I like that. I want to put something in here too. I haven't found anything. What's that? Oh, that's quite nice. Will that fit in there? It's another little circle. It doesn't look right. No, I don't want that. I'm just going with what I've got on my desk, and I've got a lot left on my desk. Well, I've got loads of bits, but nothing really suitable. Nothing with anything on. Let me just have a look in my box. This is the thing, when you're using up bits, you don't always just have stuff to hand. When you're using a kit, you have loads of bits. So I'm just checking that there's nothing in here that I can just get away with. Just to put in thin. Ah, look what I've got here. I've made some of these. I've made some of these little, you could make them into shakers. I've just used a plastic bag and I've used some backing papers and then put, I had a little die cut snowman and the stag on this side. That's quite cute. I don't know when that's too thick. Would that fit in there? No, it wouldn't. It would fit in there though. Let me just have a look. I'm changing my mind, you see, that many times, aren't I? It fits in there. Oh, that's nice. It fits in there and it shows through both sides. So I think I might put that in there. I just wanted something in there, that was all. And I haven't really got anything. If I'm not putting that other one, I can maybe get away with that. Yep. I can get away with that little circle up there and just that in there like that. Do I want that? I want something just to stop this edge going up, but I haven't decided what yet. That one goes up there. No, I've never tied them up before, but I could tie it up, but I haven't done. Now I know that's definitely something Tina does. She always ties them up. I've never tied mine up. I like that on there. Oh, I like that on there, and I like the Merry Christmas on there. Yeah, I think that's where I'm going to go with that. I can cut a bit of that off if it's put that there and put that there, and then I'll just cut that end off. So I'm going with that on the front. You don't have to have loads of bits up there. I've just put bits up just to show you all the different places that have got little openings. Oh, you've moved now, have you? You can come right near me. Oh, no, he hasn't. I thought he'd move near me. He's making that much noise. Bless him. He's so noisy. And because it was so dark, he started barking earlier, and he's had his sort of night routine a lot earlier in the evening. I think because he thought it was dark, he thought it was bedtime. And he wouldn't settle. I had to walk him earlier than I do normally, and he just wouldn't settle. So we're having a few problems with him at the moment with, you know, getting a bit unsettled. I've got an appointment with the vet just to have him. I don't think there's anything really that they can do anything, but I just want him checked out. I'm just a little bit worried about him and want him checked out. He's like my baby. I've got to keep my eye on him. I couldn't imagine being without a dog now. But I don't want, you know, I don't want a puppy again. I don't think I could manage a puppy. I wasn't so sure I wasn't going to go for a puppy and get one, you know, with Oscar. But my daughter's dogs, as I say, Tilly just sits and she just does her own thing. She's fine. But Reggie, the sausage dog, oh, he's manic. I call him Psycho. His name's Reggie, but I call him Psycho Sausage because he is. He's just full of it. He's just on the go all the time. I just want something in that corner now. And I don't know what. Does that stag look right there? What would that look like when you pull this out with the stag on there? Would it look better with? I've got one of those there, you see, so that does look pretty though on there. Let's just have a look. No, I don't think it looks over the top with both of them. I quite like it. I think it's really sweet. So I think I'm just going to put that on there. So let's get this down. Yeah, so they play together and Oscar really loves him, playing with him, but Oscar can't keep up with him. I mean, he's in, well, 10-month now, 10-month-old puppy, and he's full of it, absolutely full of it. But Oscar tires really quickly, and he can't resist playing with him. You know, Reggie comes bounding in and jumps all over him. And he hasn't got the upper hand yet, you know. Oscar's the boss. Oscar knows when enough's enough and he tells him. And Reggie backs off because I was real worried. I mean, he wouldn't bite him or anything, but he does tell him. But even little Tilly does. Tilly tells him off, which really surprised me. I'd never heard her sort of growl and bark because she's just so laid back. She never does it with Lee. That's my son. She never does it with Oscar, but she didn't have tell and my daughter said, oh yes, she does tell him off. This was done, obviously we can't see them, but this is on Skype. We haven't seen them since our second lockdown, but before all that, well, in between the two, they were going mad together, but they've now moved in with a boyfriend's parents, and they've got, between them, they've got 4 dogs and 4 cats. So he's got lots of animals to play with and to annoy. But even their dogs are older, and you can see them tiring really quickly as well. And one of them, the female gets out the way, but the male likes to have a play. Yeah, so getting back to this, so we've got lots of bits going on. We've got a long tag in there. We've got a little spot in there just to put something. This, you can put something behind it. When you turn it over, I've just put a Christmas tree there. There isn't, on this particular paper that I've used, there isn't a lot of writing space, but you could change your papers round. You could have it so that your paper that's on the outside is all fancy and then the inside is plainer. I like to sort of do it different ways, just for a bit of interest. And then this one, I've double folded this piece of vellum over, made it into another little pocket there, left that so there's lots of journaling space there. There's a tag in there. Now this particular tag, you wouldn't get a lot of journaling space on it, but I've put that in there just for interest really at the minute, just to show you. You can either put another piece in there or you can leave it for your own bits. As I say, I normally leave that open like that so I can fold my own bits in there. And then, you know, the same with these little bits, I'd probably put my own bits in, and in this one as well, but I've just fancied it up, you know, just to give you some ideas really. You could have something like that just peeping out of there, you know, just because you're not putting anything in. I'm just looking at this. If I was to put that in there like that, that stops that. Yes, I like that. I think that's a real. I'm going to take this out because, I don't know, it could go in. Could go in just for interest really. it would be hard to write on it because of the embossing. But yeah, it looks nice for interest. And then that there, it says Merry Christmas on it. It's just stopping that paper coming out. And I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put that stag on there. See, I keep going. I never know when enough's enough. I've just found as well that I'm going to have to put somewhere. I found one of these little from the bits of the embossing that was left. I always use my punches on it, and I'd punched out, it could either be a flower or a snowflake, so I'm going to use it as a snowflake, and I'm just going to put it on here somewhere, I think, just because it's floating on my desk. And you see, a lot of this will go away when Christmas is over. This will all go away in a box back up in my roof, and it's not seen again for another year. And so when I bring it out, I forget what I've got. But you know, there's loads of bits that I want to sort of use, like loads of bits of papers. So I don't know whether I want that on there. Yeah, I'm going to put it up there. Yeah, so this is not got in my little pot. I bet it's flicked when I was sat last night using all my little bits that was left, and I was just punching them out. That's it. So just the last flip through of that, so you can see what I've done so far. So I started with a big piece of paper, folded it over in half, and then folded this bit over again, folded one piece down here, folded this not right in half, not to the middle, but just so far, and folded this one down. Got a little bit in there. And on this occasion I used this as a flip out piece, and you could flip it out again, but I attached it to itself and made like another little pocket. So I think this is a really good little pocket. And then the weight in this one holds it all down, and you could just have that floating around in your journal. You could put it in a pocket, or you could do like I have on this one. I'll just bring this back. So that's just another one of the one I've used. So if I can find it in here. Yeah, so this is this is the one we've just done, and this is my original. This is slightly smaller than my original one, because when I made this one, I made it for this page. So I've got just a little flip at the front there with a tag in it. I've got a little piece there, and I've just put made with love in there. And then this is a pocket, and it's all been sewn down. And I've got a tag in there with plenty of writing space on the back. And then when it opens up, I've left this fairly plain because there's room to write on this one. And when you open this up, this one here, I haven't left open. I've sewn it down, so it's just a flip there, just a tuck spot there, and then I've put another journaling card in with lots of room. So there's lots of variations you can make of this. And then when I've put it to the page, I've also left room for another pocket there. So there's a lot going on in it. And as I say, I could put that on there like that, or I could put it just to sort of float it about. I'm just looking, I've got a pocket here. Yeah, I mean, it's not going in this one, but you could just put it in a pocket like that. It is quite thick, this one. It is quite bulky. But there's lots of options. It's good sort of on the front or the back page. I mean, I've got something in there, but it would be too much going on. But you could just put it. I'm just trying to find a pair. Oh, this is the other side of the other one that I did. So you would just sew it down on there and give yourself a pocket there. So that would be an option, or you could just have it floating and just clip it to your page. Or you could just have it as an individual item. It doesn't even have to go in a. It would be very nice actually to give somebody as a Christmas present and put a voucher in it. You know, you could actually slip a voucher in there and give it as a Christmas card. So that's another option as well. So there's lots of options with it, really. That would be really nice to open it up and find a voucher in there. That's only just occurred to me now, but you could, or you could, you know, slip a voucher in just in there peeping out. So there's lots of options with it. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope it inspires you and gets you thinking of what you can do. Just move this out of the way. So I'll say that's all I've got for now. So I'll say bye for now, and I'll be back to you very shortly. I think we're nearly ready for putting everything together in the journal. Okay, so that's it. Bye for now.